Highsec. Ah, yes, the most secured place in New Eden. Or so you think. Back in the day, or at least a few years back, Highsec was a lot safer, as far as I remember. But now, Highsec is a war zone, literally. From suicide gangs to war decks and mission hoppers and can baiters, you have it all. The only real safe zones in Highsec was, and will be, at least for a while until CCP finds a reason to fix it, the beginner systems, where all new characters are born. Now, Highsec has a lot of PvP-oriented activities, so I will cover each of them and let you decide. Minus market PvP because I'm not experienced with that and I'm not sure you are curious about it. So let's start with war decks. War declarations, war deck for short, is as the name implies. Attacks you pay to Concord each week so you can legally shoot and try to kill other players, who are of course part of the corporation alliance that you decked. War decks are not limited to Highsec, you can deck corps and alliances who live in NoSec or anywhere. However, they are mostly taking part in Highsec because, as you know, everywhere else you can shoot people without Concord killing you in return, so no need to pay Concord for it. Realistically, war decking is a form of EvE used by some of the more established Highsec decking corps like Marmite to get free kills on unexperienced pilots or just casual gamers. However, there are some top-tier mercenary groups that do take war decks seriously and use them to drive away their targets for payment. What that means is, if you want something that a rival corp or alliance has and you don't have the manpower to take it, you can enlist mercenary groups to take care of it for you, for a price of course, and usually it's not cheap. Now getting back to you, the player. If you want to use the war deck mechanic to satisfy your PvP needs, keep in mind that just decking any random corp will not get you anything. While war decking smaller corps will cost you less, it also means fewer targets to shoot. Ideally, war decking corps as a solo player is not efficient unless you are space rich and enjoy easy targets that don't usually fight back. It's not for the thrill or engagement. As a side note, and looking for a window to show you some of the kills that people get in war decks, I have scrolled through several pages of the recent corps that war deck people, and let me tell you, almost all of them have 0 kills and 0 destroyed. So yeah, war deck people, it's really fun. Mission hoppers and can baiters. I'm sure there are other words to better describe these activities, but it doesn't matter because I will explain them shortly. There are certain people who use Jedi mind games and sneaky tricks to get their opponents to shoot first, opening up a situation for which the player who committed the trick on the victim is well prepared for. The best way I can describe this is to give you guys examples. You can extrapolate the info from them. Say I find myself with an alt on a busy mission running system in Highsec. My alt has scan probes fitted and my main is a tanky DPS frigate or even a battleship. Doesn't matter. My alt cargo is ship scans every battleship that undocks from the main mission hub station. At some point I scan a shiny battleship that's worth a lot. I try to determine the direction he's warping to while I research the pilot. I find out he's inexperienced in PvP. Great. I take my main and my alt and follow him. I scan him down in the mission pocket. I warp my main in the mission pocket. At this point I have 2 options. If he drops a mobile tractor unit, I can shoot it to go suspect. If he doesn't, I scan and scoop the loot from the wrecks, preferably a wreck that holds a key that he needs to advance in the mission, because certain missions will drop certain items that you will need to advance further in the mission. Both of which will get me suspect status. That means everyone is free to shoot me, including him, without having to fear Concord, which was my plan. Now, this is where it's luck based. Depending on the player and depending on the ship that you are in, if he feels comfortable or enraged enough, he will engage you. If he does, he will most surely be dead because I am fitted and prepared to be exactly his worst nightmare. If he doesn't, move on to your next target. Right, example number 2. Well, this video doesn't really show what I'm trying to explain, and I So I'm hard pressed to say that I didn't actually find any videos showing how to can bait, and I can't really do the video myself because I'm a nasty pirate and I'm not allowed in high sec. Nevertheless, um, this example doesn't work so well anymore because of weapon safety, red, yellow, and green, but it's something to keep in mind. I walk to a belt where people mine, I flip their wrecks to go suspect and wait for them to engage me, thinking I'm stealing their ore, ice, and that's it. Well, not it. Some miners actually jettison their cargo and rename the cans so they can pick them up later with the hauler. You can actually loot from those cans as well to try to go suspect. Now, mind you, this is just a bare bones explanation because the people who do this daily have become masters of manipulation. From changing your ship name to has scrammed you, quote unquote. So when you lock someone up, they see the logs and think they're already scrammed when in reality you just locked them up. To smack talking a local so hard you blindly rage attack them out of spite or whatever. To put it bluntly, it's an art form. There are plenty of guides on this if you want to try it with countless successes. Awoxing, awoxing, however you want to spell it, used to be my go-to activity for high-sec shenanigans for a while, and it was very funny and rewarding. Now it's almost gone extinct. Awoxing means killing your corp mate or stealing stuff from him. Nothing more, nothing less. And the reason it's nearly extinct as an activity is because CCP recently made a change to corporation mechanics where as a CEO can turn on or off friendly fire, or legal or illegal, as you can see here. And when you create a corporation, friendly fire is turned to illegal by standard. It was good news for all the high-sec Care Bears, but it was bad news for us, the pirates. The only way around this is to make your own corporation and turn off friendly fire. Try to recruit Care Bears and hope they don't see or know what friendly fire is. It's still doable, but takes some effort. However, if you can succeed, it's a lot of good fun. I've killed several mission running ships and even managed to scam someone into contracting 2 billion worth of stuff to me with the promise that I will transport their stuff to our new quote-unquote home. So if you have two monitors and an alt, you can try to do that. Just advertise your corp in the English advertising channel while you play on your main. Eventually you will find someone because every corp has to start somewhere. And there are certain players who want to be part of a starting corp in the hopes for lead roles or something like that. Just keep in mind that once you find the victim and make him pay for his inexperience, you will most likely receive bad press and will probably not be able to recruit for a while. So having multiple alts with multiple corps help. Also, one other detail. Other Awoxers might join your corp as well, masking as Care Bears just to kill you. So there's that. Suicide ganking. Ever heard of Code? Yeah, who doesn't? While I don't respect their attitude and how they play, this is EvE, and I do respect that they play how they want no matter how much salt or trash is thrown at them. They are the best when it comes to suicide ganking and they do it constantly. In fact, it's the only thing they do. And the reason they do it is to stop AFK play or semi-AFK play like mining and hauling. While a noble jester, most often they tend to be annoying. At least that's my opinion. Suicide ganking is PvP made easy, at a cost. It implies you fit a ship for raw pure DPS with no tank and just throw yourself at someone hoping you kill him in time until Conquer stops you. There are a few tricks to this. For one, Conquer response time depends on security status. The lower you go, the higher the response time, which in turn means more time you have to finish your target. As for the second, you can force Concord to spawn in a nearby system by randomly shooting an alt or a neutral in a rookie ship, wait out the timer, then go do your stuff in your desired system and watch it laugh how Concord takes a lot longer to spawn and help out your poor victim. Suicide ganking is best done in a group to maximize efficiency and greatly increase your chance that the target will die first. However, it can be done solo. You just have to pick squishier targets. A few examples of good solo suicide ganks is taking out exploring frigates that are returning to high sec to drop their loot, killing less tanked miners in a belt, and maybe even alphaing untanked T1 haulers with a tornado, then have an outscoop the loot. I say scoop the loot because suicide ganking is mostly a profit game. You go for something that is more expensive than your loss to make a profit. Last but not least, dueling. There is a mechanic where you can invite players to a duel, effectively placing you and your target in a status where only you two can engage each other freely. I left this for last because it's not really effective for anything and most of the fights you will get are far from fair. Challenging, yes, but hardly good. Most people who offer duels sit outside the main trade hubs looking for easy targets that they are generally proper fitted with logi support. There are a few players who actually want good fights, but there are too few and not really practical. Also, there is a way to turn on auto reject duel invitations, so there's that. Not much else to say about these. And with that, our list is concluded. From all of the above, what I do recommend you do if you want to have some fun is definitely try some suicide ganking or the reverse safari, which the people who started this trend before me, the actual people who are really good at this, the high-sec pirates, they call this activity reverse safari, but it actually means creating a corp to walks your new recruits. I wish you guys the best of luck, and if you do happen to walk through suicide gank in a funny and interesting video, please record it and send it to me. I will post the video on my channel. Make sure to subscribe for new content and notifications on the remaining parts. Thanks for watching and fly safe.